Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
The Daily Compliance News for September 4, 2024, the Don't Ask for Something edition, parentheses, because you just might get it. And we begin with that story from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal. Dylan Tokar reporting that businesses wanted the SEC, the CFTC, and many other agencies' power cut. Well, they got it. And now they are in uncertain times. And of course, it's because no one knows what the regulators can or can't do. So businesses crave certainty, and they had that before, but now, because of the idiotic rulings of the U.S. Supreme Court, in the Loper case, for instance, doing away with the Chevron deference, the regulatory market is very uncertain. Next up, from the New York Times, Martin Winkelhorn, who is the CEO at Volkswagen during the emissions testing scandal, is going to trial 9 years after the company admitted that it had rigged millions of cars to cheat on emissions tests. He, of course, claims he didn't know anything about it. Gee, I wonder why he would say that. Of course, he resigned literally within 30 days after the scandal was broken, and he claims is in poor health. But the trial will be a test of whether German authorities can hold top executives accountable for wrongdoing that cost Volkswagen tens of billions of dollars and contributed to poor air quality literally across the globe. It is Wednesday, so there must be yet a new Lebanon or Lebanese government or former government official accused of corruption. Lebanon's controversial former central bank governor was detained Tuesday and in several corruption cases. He began serving a 30-year term as a central bank governor back in 1993, and he's yet one more Lebanese politician charged with corruption. And our final story today comes to us from the Financial Times. And in an interview, James Menica from Google has said that productivity gains from AI are not guaranteed, but an even more important question is, when will AI, or how do you use AI to increase your profits? And I think this is really a great question for every compliance professional to ask. It's not about productivity, it's the bottom line. As I mentioned at the start of this podcast, the sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Well, Ethico has a great new offering this month for you, a toolkit for middle managers. This is something that you, as the compliance professional, can use to move your compliance program forward by giving middle managers the skills necessary to answer a call for speak up or when someone comes in their office and raises a concern. I can't think of a tool that will be more valuable for you in the current era of enforcement. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.